What's up, y'all? Got get some more of a, I don't want to say more important, because I think all my videos are important, but something that's been on my mind that I haven't really spoke on. Me kind of processing a lot of things going on with me personally, but this is kind of something that I think we need to talk about, because it needs to be said, truly. I was just got done, I wasn't done finished yet. I'm like a third of the way through watching this recent video from a dude named Mr. Quigley. Do you think that's his name? Talking about how, Zionists are like mainly the main reason why so many black people, or young black men in particular, are dying. And just that video plus a whole bunch of other things that I'm seeing of the obsession with the black people, especially with black men. People are very, very obsessed with us for valid reasons, but still, people are very much obsessed with us. Black women too, but mostly men. And I always say, like, everything that we do, we are no different from the worms in the dirt, the grass, the flowers, the trees, the bugs. We have no more value than any of these things. We think we do because we are very egotistical creatures in nature. You know what I'm saying? These big heads that can carry our large brains. A lot of ego in there. A whole lot of ego that needs to be, for some people, it needs to constantly be stroked. Someone's talking about me. Constantly needs to be reinsured. But once you kind of get past that and see things for what they truly are, you see everything happens for the best, It's from the outside looking in. One more. From the outside looking in, the homicide rates, the deaths of young black men are disproportionate, and it's very much manufactured. It's not so much something that would happen without outside influences from other people. The marriage rate, how it dropped off, the incarceration rates, all these things are happening, disproportionately to black men. You look at it from an egotistical sense, it's very, very fucked up. It is, truly, it is. But if you zoom out and you once again remember that everything is predetermined, everything happens for a reason, we will always do what's best. We are wired to do that. All of us, every single one of us, are wired to do our best and do the best. There's a reason why this is happening to black men. You know what I'm saying? Especially the black men in America. Especially, that is very important. Especially the black men in America. It's because we are the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be cruel. We are the best of humanity because we are the most connected to what we need to do out in the world. What is actually natural for us to do as a species. We are the best at that. We definitely emulate that the most. And other groups of men and women do not. They are more egotistical than us. They are more in their minds, in their own heads than we are. We are definitely a group of people who have been on this. We have been on this earth. We've seen more rotations than any other group of people on this planet. So we kind of know what it is. You know what I'm saying? We see people through all these different ideas and different type of inventions act like they did something or invented something, when black people, we did that probably millions of years ago, that we kind of threw away because it was like, it is kind of self-serving. This doesn't really serve us as a species too much. And then other people picked it up and be like, hey, look what I found. Okay, whatever, I guess so. But all these statistics that are true, they are true, that are disproportionately happening to black men, are for the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, all these things, like with the deaths, the killings, the incarceration, the marriage rates, the poverty, all of these things are happening to black men, to black people in general, to black Americans, and yet we still produce some of the greatest human beings to ever walk this earth. All of these things keep happening to us. We still create some of the most inspirational people who have ever graced this planet. Right? You can't have one without the other. You know what I'm saying? You got to take the good with the bad, the yin and yang, all that fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's why these things happen. You know, it's unfortunate from a egotistical, selfish point of view, right? We don't want to see these things. We don't want to see these things continue, and they can continue because they're, like I said, they're mainly manufactured, right? Where we are artificially making black men the greatest group of people, American black men, the greatest people on this planet. And there's a reason for it. You know, there's something that's going to happen that we need. They need us for. So we are definitely getting prepared for that. But at the same time, this doesn't need to continue. We don't need to be operating off of our ego. We need to be operating off of nature, and we need to be following. They need to be following our lead, essentially, right? But this obsession with us, you know, from the ego sense, from the self, from the pride sense, is what's causing all this unnecessary suffering and chaos. For them, not so much for us. You know, it seems like we are suffering the most, but this melanin, like I said in the previous video, isn't for show. We are built for this. You know what I'm saying? These things that stress y'all out do not stress us out in the same capacity. You know what I'm saying? These they don't have the same effect on us. So when you do these things, you know, like I said, the incarceration rate, that hurts y'all way more than it hurts us. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is the Jews that are doing it, you know, at least a lot of them are from Africa. You know what I'm saying? At least they understand what this is. And everything that y'all do, it's from slavery, segregation, all the lynchings, all of these things were for our benefit. You know what I'm saying? They did not benefit y'all at all. You know what I'm saying? Did not benefit y'all. Like in the short term, in the ego sense, sure, it did. But long term, y'all have been being punished for everything you've done since the beginning. And the same thing's happening to the Jews right now. They're being punished by nature for what they're doing. And black men are not. We are continuing to thrive. We are continuing to grow and to learn and to lead. You know, that's what we do. That's what we put on this earth to do. And everyone knows this, right? And that's the reason why they do this. People do not send smoke to you to make you weaker. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Literally, it is very, very true. It has been replicated in so many different media types that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And that's what they're constantly trying to make us stronger, because they know something that is bigger than all of us is headed towards us. And they need the strongest of us to guide us through those trying times. And that's black men, you know, especially American black men. That's the reason why they picked us, you know what I'm saying, from Africa. And I know that Africans being Africans, for every one of us, you know, the more exceptional ones of us, they snuck in about 4 or 5 of the non-exceptional ones, since the people who came us, the colonizers, probably couldn't tell us apart, truly, at least not consciously. So they took a whole bunch of, you know, black people that they thought they all were the same. But yeah, the best of us, the majority of the best of us, I won't say the majority of us, but a decent amount of the best of us are here in America, and we have been thriving and doing, you know, amazing things ever since. And it's the reason for that is because the constant pressure that we are put under. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with diamonds. You know, you get diamonds from coal, and when you put that pressure on there, we put a bunch of heat and pressure on coal, it makes diamonds. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what black men are. We are diamonds at the end of the day. We all are, you know what I'm saying? But we shine the brightest, and we are definitely the most durable of all the diamonds, because of the pressure that we're constantly put under, and the pressure that we constantly need to be put under, like I said, because there is something on the horizon that is bigger than all of us that we all need to be prepared for. But the obsession with us is definitely real. You know what I'm saying? It is more prevalent now more than ever. People are just being like, black men, black men, black men, black men, which makes sense to an extent, but also it definitely is self-serving for the people who are constantly doing it. They're doing it for themselves. They're not really doing it for us. They're doing it because they want to constantly be in alignment with us, which makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're definitely leaders, but they don't want us to lead because, like I said, they're operating off of their egos. They're not really living in accordance to nature, consciously. Unconsciously, we all are. We have no choice. But consciously, a lot of people are fighting themselves and fighting nature every single day to punish themselves for, once again, for what they've done. You know what I'm saying? All these things that I mentioned, you know, the slave trade, you know, the just discrimination, the attacks on us, they were not that long ago. You know what I'm saying? They were not that long ago. The people who did those things, they know. They know it's in their DNA. They know that those thoughts, those feelings are inside of them. And they're doing the best they can to kind of navigate that. And I don't want to, stoke the flames on that, but at the same time, the reason why I'm doing this right now is like this needs to, like, people need to face themselves. At the end of the day, this obsession with black men will stop if we just face ourselves. Truly, if we just looked in the mirror and be like, who am I? Where do I come from? Where did all this start? And can I get out of my own way? A lot of this suffering, this unnecessary suffering, would stop instantly. But black men is on the menu right now. Everybody's obsessed with us. We're doing it. And we're doing it looking good at the same time. And it's making people feel a certain type of way, which comes with the territory. But at the same time, it's like you're hurting yourself in ways that we can never do. You know what I'm saying? This is all self-sabotage. A lot of this is suicide, honestly. Disguised suicide. And it's something to watch. I don't even know what words to use to describe all these people who are throwing their lives away for their guilt. But it needs to happen. So I'm not going to do unnecessary things to keep it from happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let nature run its course, and hopefully, just hope for the best. Expect the worst, hope for the best. As the black pill demands of us. But yeah, the obsession with black men right now, currently, it's at an all-time high, because, like I said, people are waking up and seeing who is really doing it out here, who's really out here making moves and getting people out of bed, and inspiring people and giving them hope. And it's always been us. You know what I'm saying? It's not all of us, not even half of us, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, depends on how you want to look at it. But it has always been us, and it will always continue to be us until the rest of y'all kind of, accept who you are and truly live in accordance to nature and not how you want to be viewed and how you want to see in your own mind and your own ego. Because that's not, it's like I said, it's self-serving. You're just spinning your wheels and doing what you feel like what's best for you, and that's not what we're doing here. So it's like, for me personally, I appreciate the people who see what's going on and are concerned for our safety. That is very, very admirable, and that is very kind. Thank you. But at the same time, all this is for us to continue to be who we are. You know what I'm saying? Continue to show people what is possible in this world, and it is possible for you. Maybe not for you personally in this lifetime, but a couple generations in the future, it could be possible for you and your family, if you truly do care about your family. A lot of people say they do. Their actions say otherwise, but if you truly did care about your family, if you truly do care about how the world truly works, you will be okay with black men and how we do things overall. But different conversation. But right now, it's definitely, I appreciate the people seeing what's going on and speaking out about it, and speak about how the different groups, you got the Jews, you got the whites, you got the Hispanics, you got the Asians, doing all this fuck shit to us. But understand, this is all for the best. This is all for the best. Not saying you got to stand around and watch it happen, not do anything, but understand that this is needed. All this is needed, and we need to feel it, truly feel it, let it flow out of us, and continue down this path, because that's what's going to lead to us just continuing to keep this world spinning and do our part as a species, understanding that we are no better than anybody else, any other thing on this planet, and everything that we're doing right now is temporary. You know what I'm saying? This will not last. All societies collapse. All good things must come to an end, and we will return to who we always were. You know what I'm saying? That's why I bring up like the marriage rates. Marriage in the traditional sense is very unnatural for humans. We do not need to be with one singular person for like many years. The fact that we see 5 to 10, 15% of people do it correctly, the vast majority of us do not like to be by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why those marriages lasted so long, because they probably didn't like being alone. Truly, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they loved that person or they only had love for that person. It was just like they didn't like being alone. If you like being alone, if you truly love yourself, you're going to spread that love all over the place. And it's cruel to only give that to one person. You know what I'm saying? So it's black men have been very loudly and quietly at the same time, being like, hey, we're not supposed to just be with one person. We're supposed to love everybody in every capacity, and people don't want to accept that because their egos get hurt. You know what I'm saying? They all of a sudden they understand that they have to come to terms that they've been putting in a lot of eggs in a basket that has a hole in the bottom of it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with violence. You know what I'm saying? Violence is a huge part of who we are, and we need that violence. You know what I'm saying? Sure, the violence is very unnatural right now. It's manufactured, but we are a very violent species that we need to conquer that violence. You know what I'm saying? It kept us alive. It's what brought us here. And at the same time. And same thing with all these statistics about black people. It's like, this is needed. This is needed. This is not how it's being done right now isn't needed, but this is needed. You know, we all need to go through these things to constantly get better and to constantly grow. So this obsession overall, zooming out, is necessary, but it's definitely messing with a lot of people's minds. And yeah, you definitely need to conquer this shit, because if you don't conquer it, it's going to conquer you, and it's not going to be a pretty sight. You know, a lot of people are suffering unnecessarily because of it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we are all doing the best we can, and we are all doing this for the best. And the best right now is black men. You know, it's black people in general. It's black people all over the world, but American black men, we are the best at, take away the ego, we are the best at living in accordance of nature. That's what we do. That's what we've been doing since the beginning of time. And the rest of the people, the non-black people, or the less African of us, have been kind of doing their own thing in getting a very degrees of success and failures. But at the end of the day, black men, we have been doing this for a very, very long time. We know what we're doing, and we're going to continue to do that. So we appreciate the help, you know what I'm saying, to get us in alignment, to continue us in alignment to all this smoke, all this negative energy or these trials, these tests you put us through. It's for the best. We all appreciate it. I know I do. I appreciate all the tests I'm put through every single day, because it is to better me, truly, to have me in alignment of what I'm supposed to do as a black man and as a human being in general, as an animal in general. And we need to pass that along and continue that. But at the same time, this obsession is very self-serving. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, y'all have to really kind of give that energy to yourselves, because y'all need to catch up. We are fine. We got it. Y'all need to catch up, seriously. So, you know, this understand this obsession of us is needed, but not forever. Y'all need to give this to yourselves.